Amo Yisrael. Let's wait for our first song.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I am very happy to announce that I will not be leading the service this evening. Now, I am thrilled to have the Brotherhood back here to conduct Shabbat services after a hiatus of, is it like 3 years or something?
We did 2 virtual services.
But in person, it's wonderful to have you all here, and I'm looking forward to enjoying the service from back there, and I will turn it over to Michael Singer. Oh, and Ben Silver, who will lead us in prayer.
And Sheldon Cooperman.
And Sheldon
who will be
Cooperman.
helping me out, and Andy Fite will also be joining us for much of the music. We'd like to start off tonight with a song to kind of get us into the spirit of Shabbat. And it's a song, it's actually a modern Israeli song. Yep, there you go. Thank you so much. It's a modern Israeli song called Ani V'Ata, which of course means we would usually say you and I, although technically it's I and you. But it's called Ani V'Ata, and it's a song with very nice ideals. It goes like this. Ani v'ata nishane et ha'olam. Ani v'ata az yavohu kvar kulam. Amru et ze kodem lifanai lo mishane. Ani v'ata nishane et ha'olam.
You've got to believe we can change this world around. You've got to believe there's a new world to be found. We've heard it before, yes we did, so many times. You've got to believe we can change this world around.
Ani v'ata ninase mehatchala. Yiyeh lanu ra ein davar velo nora. Amru et ze kodem lifanai v'mishaneh. Ani v'ata nishaneh et ha'olam.
It's you and it's me. We can build it from the start. If people could see, then it would be so hard. We've heard it before, yes we did, so many times. You've got to believe we can change this world around. You've got to believe we can change this world around.
And now, I'd like to speed things up and get you singing with us a little in this next song, contemporary version of Hine Matov. The band has often done this version, and it's actually written by a fellow named Sheldon Loeb, who's written a lot of good arrangements of liturgical music, Jewish music in general. We've bring Andy Fight up to the bima. And, so, as you listen to this, I think you'll be able to sing along, especially with the chorus. 2, 3. And use your shakers too. Shake along. Hine mato manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Everybody. Hine mato manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. When we sit together, when we sing this song, when we raise our voices, we know we belong. Hine mato manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. When we work together, when we live as one, when we help each other, we know we are strong. Hine mato manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine mato manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. Gam yachad. Gam yachad. I think that's good enough. I'd like to introduce our rabbi for the evening.
We'll do our best. It's great to see everybody. Shabbat Shalom. So I count 30-something people, which probably means there's 40-something mobile devices. So please remember to put your device on vibrate or stun as appropriate. If there is an urgent phone call, text message, your stockbroker is calling you, you've won the lottery, I invite you to take it out in the social hall. Also a reminder to all the readers tonight, if you want to be on our Zoom, you need to be on the right-hand side of the lectern, not the left-hand side. Okay. So, we all need Shabbat, and we need one another on Shabbat. This is a chance to connect with family, friends, and communities as we come together. Together we step back from the business of our week, savor our many blessings, and delight in wonderful memories and candlelight. I found this writing by Ruth Bryn the other day. God, help us to make this new Shabbat. After noise, we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek free. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach towards one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat. Tonight, we will be hearing from many voices coming together as we celebrate Shabbat as a community. I'd like to welcome you all to the Brotherhood Shabbat service. Mike?
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words in English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created. and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring their vision in life. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God.
I'd like to invite Cal Singer to open the ark curtain, and please rise. Okay, please be seated. That's it? Sure.
So now please turn in your prayer books to page 138, I believe. And we will do the song we traditionally do this time of the service as we follow the tradition of welcoming the Shabbat bride into our midst. And that's the song Lecha Dodi. We have the Craig Taubman version that we do tonight. We'll do tonight, and invite you to sing along and again to shake along as well. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala. La la la, lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabala. Amor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'liti la 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 Tadodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala, Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala. Verse 5. Toruri, Kiva Ore, Kumi Uri, Shir Gaberi, Kivod Adonai Allah, Yifni la 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 Dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala, Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala. Last verse. Shalom, Ateret Ba'ala, Gam B'simcha, U'sahola, Toch Emunei, Am Segula, Bo'ikala, la 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 la, Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala, la 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 la, Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, Lekrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabala.
Okay, we'll proceed to light the Shabbat candles. Please join us on page 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadashanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, 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 amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Okay, if you join me on page 124, we'll read the bottom half of the page responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out our pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admire complacency, selfishness, and harshness. Okay, we'll go to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadal v'yishkala shemei rabah. V'yalva nivra kimer say the amlich malchutei the chayechon of yom echon of chaye the kol beit Yisrael. Bagalav v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yeshmei rabah v'varach yomam v'yom v'yomai. Yitbarach v'yishtabach yibar yitram yitnasei yithadar yithalev yithalal shmei d'kudashah barechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran v'yoma v'yimru amen.
Okay, we'll join on 146 for the Baruch. Please rise.
Top of page 146. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you, we seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. O let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Top of page 148, together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'yoru ma'ariv aravim, v'chachma proteach she'arim, v'v'yavanayu mashana atim, v'machalif et azmanim, Umsadir et hakokavim, B'mishmarotehem b'rakia kirtzono, B'rei yom v'layla, goleo or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom u'mevi layla, Umavdil ben yom u'mein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayom, Tamid yimloch aleinu mi'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Haranim. Praise to you, Adonai our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Haravim.
How about along?
Yeah. Please turn to page 150, I believe, and join us in singing of Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam B'Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadita Otanu lemadita Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachenu ufkumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Torata u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu uvahem Mege yomam v'layla, mege yomam v'layla. V'yahavadcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohel amo Yisrael.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohel amo Yisrael.
We'll continue with the Shema on page 152.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Blessed is
God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Gedol Malchuto, Le'olam Vahed. V'yavta et Adonai Elocha b'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshacha u'v'chol madacha yuhei hadvarim hayalei asher anochi matzavocha hayom al v'cheha v'shenatam levachnecha v'diberta bam b'shivtacha v'vetecha uvlechtecha v'tach uvshechcha uvkimercha uvshachim v'hayu l'tofata bein anecha uvtachtam al metzuzot v'techa uvisharecha Lema'an tizkuru va'ashitem et kol mitzvotah v'hiyatem kadoshim le'olechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzete etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihayot bachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus shall you remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Please be seated.
All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously.
And here, please join us in the Mi Chamocha on page 158. Use your shakers too. Mi Chamocha ba'eli Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'ili Adonai, Mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. No Ramino, Hosanna. No Ramino, Hosanna. Adonai yimloch me'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch me'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u panecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu v'yamru, Ze'eli anu v'yamru. Adonai yimloch me'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch me'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch me'olam va'ed.
Let's go back to page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place,
a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get there from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Who is like, excuse me, who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. On page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom, aleinu v'yol kol Yisrael, aleinu shalom.
Please join us in the singing of a contemporary version of Ashki Benu.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom, v'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shoreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Yismachu, okay, right away. That's on page. Turn the page to page 162. And as we often do in the Brotherhood service, we sing Yismachu, in the middle of the page. Yismachu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, orei onei Shabbat. Yismachu b'malachutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, orei onei Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shevi Shabbat, Kulam Yisba'u V'yitangu Metuvecha Shabbat. Yisba'u V'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Orei Onei Shabbat. Yisba'u V'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Orei Onei Shabbat.
V'hashvi ratzitubo v'kidashto Shabbat, kemdat yamin oto karata, zecher l'maaseh v'reishit.
Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Orei Onei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Orei Onei Shabbat.
Page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will.
Page 164, we will start off this section of the service, the Tefillah section, with the singing Adonai Sabatai. Anan. Please rise, everybody.
Please rise.
Thank you. Nanat Adonai. Anan Sabatai. Anan Ufi Agi Lehilatecha. Anan Sabatita. 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 Ufi Agi Lehilatecha.
Remain standing, please. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula, Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Yahweh, Melech Hoser, U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen, Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav L'Choshiyah, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rochei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Pa'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimid, Umchayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Page 170. Atah Kadosh, V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Greshim B'chol Yom V'Halu Chasela, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Together. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
So we'll continue on page 173, please.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger and find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadosh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you in this land. In Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, when alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, Shatav, Hivad, Chat, B'yara, Maved.
So we're missing one of our readers, so I guess I'm pinch hitting. Top of page 177, please. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustain us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulcha Na'eh Lehodot.
Please join Shalom now. Page 178, and join us in the singing of Shalom Ra.
Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Okay, we continue on page 179. The top, we can read this together. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O external source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message so all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who bless our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Okay. Next up is flip to 371 for the Mishaberach prayer. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. As I look around the room, if you'd like to add a name to our Mishaberach list, please speak up.
Dave Gilkin. All those in Turkey and Syria.
These are Elvin Barta.
Michael Nussbaum, Marcia Nussbaum, Emily Rose.
Meg Silver.
May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health, to be restored, and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
This is the musical version of the Mishaberach prayer, a contemporary version by Lisa Levine, if you'd like to sing.
Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer,
Hear our prayer,
hear our prayer,
hear our prayer,
hear our prayer. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Mishaberach Imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Mishaberach Imoteinu. Hear our prayer, 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 and bless us as well.
We pause for a moment for silent prayer. We'll continue with Osei Shalom on page 180. Okay, I think it's time to give the band a break. So I'm very pleased to introduce our Devar for this evening. You may remember the last virtual Brotherhood Shabbat service, our Rabbinic Intern, Ben Einsidler, gave the Devar. And when we asked him again, he willingly said yes. So I'm very grateful. So Ben, please come and share with us.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Really quick. Who here is good with their hands? Woodwork, building stuff, IKEA furniture, anything? I'm asking because this actually relates to the Parsha this week. The Parsha this week is Parshat Teruma, which is the start of the building of the tabernacle, of the Mishkan, as it is in Hebrew. So, for several years, I'll admit a confession, much of the whole second half of the book of Exodus made little sense to me. Because if you think about what comes before, we leave Egypt, we're slaves, there's matzah, and the stuff that we know from Passover, that's all back there. And now we get blueprints, schematics, for items that are no longer really relevant to us. So these passages, which when juxtaposed with the earlier narrative, seem kind of boring. To make sense of them while reading was a challenge, and I had trouble seeing why the Torah, whose every word is sacred and contains meaning, found it necessary to include details about poles, sockets, rings, the lengths and materials of walls, the heights and materials of tables. Yes, really. It did not seem germane to the larger story of the Israelites as they gained freedom and accepted upon themselves the yoke of chosenness that happens at Sinai. But then I had an epiphany. Parshat Teruma teaches us how to create a sacred space in the midst of the everyday. In addition, we learn to build for and within ourselves a sacred space in which God may dwell and make their presence known. Parshat Teruma opens with God declaring, "Daber bnei Yisrael v'yikechu li teruma me'et kol ish asher yidavenu libo tikechu et terumati." Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart so moves him. These gifts are the materials that will be used to build the tabernacle, and they comprise quite a list. Among other things, colored yarns, acacia wood, dolphin skins, really, dolphins, we're in the desert, remember, oil, spices, precious stones, and other objects. The biblical commentator Rashi comments on the words Yidvenu libo, which means whose heart so moves him. Rashi says, in this verse, the word Yidvenu is the same root in Hebrew as the word nidava, which means goodwill. Furthermore, this word is related to the modern Hebrew verb lehit nadev, which means to volunteer, which denotes a willingness to share and a fullness of heart. Consequently, we can see that before the Israelites can begin the process of building a sacred space, they must be willing to do so of their own accord. To create a sacred space begrudgingly is to create a symbol of communal discord and not of divine harmony. The list above at first glance seems like a rather disorganized list of items. They're in different categories, they're unrelated, they seem random. What could they possibly be used for in tandem? The answer, of course, is the tabernacle, the Mishkan in Hebrew. Yet at first glance, the answer may not be so obvious. The building of the Israelites' sacred space in the desert begins as a communal affair, with each person who wishes to contribute bringing one or possibly several of the prescribed materials enumerated. Furthermore, by having disparate materials come together to make a sacred space, the Israelites literally and metaphorically create both their community and a sense of that community. I'm reminded of our own national motto as I consider this process of building a community out of diverse components. It's on all of our change, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. It's worth noting that while entrance to parts of the sacred space will eventually be restricted to the Kohanim and the Levi'im, the priests and their assistants, the project begins as an all-inclusive one for the whole community. The kahuna, or the priesthood, has not yet been established. We're not there yet. The remainder of the parsha instructs us in exacting, kind of boring detail at times, how to build the objects needed for the Mishkan, including the ark, the table, the lampstand, the tabernacle itself, the altar, plus their accoutrements, as well as where to place everything. This goes over here, I want this table over there by the credenza, yada yada. And where to place everything in relation to each other in order to create orderly, sacred space. In the midst of the desert, an area of uncertainty and barrenness, the Israelites are instructed to build a space that is clean, orderly, and well-apportioned so that the divine presence may dwell in their midst. To me, this process of creating a sacred space so that God may dwell among the people is directly related to the mitzvah of haknasat orachim in Hebrew, or welcoming guests. By preparing a space in which the holy presence may dwell, the people voluntarily invite God into their midst and into their community. Welcoming guests into our house and the ritual of hospitality is not only reserved for our close friends, it is for all who may happen by and need a respite from their travels. Earlier in the book of Genesis, if you think back at the start of Parshat Vayera, Abraham sees 3 travelers and hurries to invite them into his tent. Come on in, sit down. And he prepares food for them, and he bids them to rest from their travels. The Magid, which is the ritual telling of the Passover story at our Seder, which we'll all say in a couple of weeks, begins with an invitation. All who are hungry, let them come and eat. We've prepared a space at our table for our guests without being entirely familiar to them. The Israelites, having beheld the divine presence at Sinai and agreeing to the covenant with the words, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will hear, eagerly set about preparing a space in which God may dwell among them. We are each created, B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image, and to invite others into our space is to acknowledge and honor the divine within each of us. A major lesson of Parshat Truma for me personally is twofold. Firstly, I treasure the idea that Judaism, like the tabernacle itself, is portable. We can bring it anywhere. When I bring my talit and my tefillin with me on vacation, or I enjoy a Shabbat dinner in a place that's not my usual home, I'm reminded that we're able to create sacred space almost anywhere, as long as we have the proper intention, the proper kavanah. Secondly, just as the Israelites create a physical sacred space for God in their midst, so too, we should strive to create sacred places within ourselves through mindfulness. No matter how busy my day is, or what I have to do on a given day, I strive to find opportunities and moments for being mindful and finding something in my day to be positive about or grateful for. Admittedly, this is not always easy, but more often than not, it can be done, and it's a rewarding process. The narrative of the construction of the Mishkan is, in addition to being instructions for how to create sacred space out of disparate parts, is a metaphor for finding and constructing the sacred within the ordinary and the mundane. While this may seem difficult at first, it can be extremely rewarding for those who try, whose ever heart so moves them. Shabbat Shalom.
That was great, thank you, Ben. Hopefully everybody here is enjoying the little personal holy space and taking a moment to reflect on, the role religion has in all of our lives. And with that note, let's continue with the Aleinu. I think that's up next. Yep, the Aleinu. Andy?
586.
I'd like to invite Hayden and Jacob to open the Ark and the Ark curtain, please. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tein gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyet harotzot, v'lo samanu k'mishbechot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kilchol hamonam, v'anachnu korin, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May be seated, and we'll continue on page 588 with Shavu Notel. Close the ark. So in Hebrew, Shavu Notel Shamayim v'Yosed Haaretz, Umoshev Yikaro Bashamayim Mima'al, Ushkinatu zo, Begave Miromi, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efezulato, Kakatu B'Torato, V'yadata hayom, V'hashivota alevavecha, Ki Adonai Hua Elohim Bashamayim Mima'al, V'al haaretz, Mitachat Einod,
And in English on page 589, altogether. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. And on page 591, together. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech ol kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Jeremy?
I'll read at the top of page 599. I'm sorry, 597. Remember our people who suffered and died so that we can be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow, or their dreams left unfulfilled and lives taken too soon we remember. Remember our brothers and sisters whose sacrifice kept the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. For life cut short and vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and in love with life. For the agony, the tears, the mothers and fathers, for the children who were, and for the children yet to be, we remember. Page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We remember those whose yard sites are this week. We remember Herman Davis, Michael Foreman, Dan Kessler, Francis Goldberg Marcus, and Alan Mover. At the top of page
If there are
5.
others.
Sorry.
If there are others, we can.
Oh, I'm sorry. And if there are others,
All those
Who
who
would-
died in the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria, and all those who died in the war in Ukraine.
Orlando Leibovitz.
Jane Raymond.
thank you.
Professor John L. Neumeier.
Top of page 598.
Please rise.
Yikadal, V'yikadash, Shemabah. Yamah, Divra, Kirute, Yamlich, Malchute. Chayim, Uvnekom, Zachaye, Dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agalav, Vizman, Kariv, Yimru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba, Barak, Yamam, Ohen, Amaya. Yibarach, V'yishtabach, V'yibahar, V'yibamam, V'yibnaseh. V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalah. Shemei Kedusha, V'yichu. Le'ela, Minkol, Birchata, V'shirata. Tushbechata, V'negamata. Dan Milan, V'yalma, V'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shalom Emeth, V'chayim Aleinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Romav, U'yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. to which we say, Amen.
Please be seated. So we are privileged today to have our temple president on grounds, and we warned him that he had to do the announcements. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up.
Oh, you know.
What are we up to, boss?
Shabbat Shalom. So I'd like to start by thanking the Brotherhood and Michael in particular for organizing all of that and tonight's service. And I think it was a very nice service with lots of participation. I'd like to thank the band for the musical accompaniment tonight. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. It's a busy part of the season, as you might know. So first of all, coming up this Wednesday, March 1st, Ben Einsidler will be leading an adult ed class both in person here at the temple and on Zoom. So join, whether you're here in person or virtually, the topic of which will be understanding Kabbalah. And that should be very interesting. 7 p.m. on Wednesday. On Friday night, we have our pre-Purim Shabbat service, also starting at 7 p.m. There will be a wonderful oneg, a hamantashen tasting, so you'll be able to try different hamantashen, and the Purim spiel, complete with the temple band, will be present and part of that. Then on Sunday, March 5th at 10:30 a.m. is the big Purim festival, starting with the spiel performed for the first time in person in more than 3 years by our confirmation class. You will not want to miss that. It'll be great. And after the spiel, we'll have a fun Purim carnival here. You'll be able to make your own hamantashen and pick up your Purim bags, which will be ready by the Friday night service. And you can pick them up Friday night, Sunday, or for those who don't make it, there will be deliveries going out as well. We have a general meeting of the congregation. We're required to have 3 of these every year. It's one of the fun parts of being president, not. But we will have a general meeting with an update on temple financials and some building projects and just general overview. And that is Tuesday, March 7th. We'll be holding it virtually on Zoom, 7 p.m. once again. So check your announcements for the time, and all members will be getting an email with the Zoom link as well. Ping Pong Club will be hosting another event on March 21st. So keep that on your calendar and join in with Michael and crew at his home, and that should be fun. And then the last one, put this on your calendars now, details to be made available soon. On March 25th, the coffee house will return after 4 or 5 years it's been since we last did a coffee house. So save the date, March 25th, and we'll get more details out on that later. And that's it. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, one more thing.
More than one more thing.
As many more things as I thought I covered a lot.
You did a great job. Excellent. I also wanted to thank the Brotherhood for doing an amazing job of conducting the service. And Ben Einsidler for doing a great job of the Devar Torah. And our musical accompanist who did an awesome job. And I always like to say it takes 15 men to do what I do by myself.
That's the only reason.
I know, that's why she comes.
Security.
But for next Friday night, we need people to take little tiny parts in our abbreviated Purim spiel. We need the adults to do Friday night, but the kids are going to do much better on Sunday morning. So please, we already have a special guest, Haman, who's going to be here, whose identity I will not reveal yet. But I need people to take the other parts. They're really very short, and nobody has to sing. The only people who need to sing are the temple band. So hopefully you'll be there for that. And March
But you're welcome to sing if you want.
March 22nd, also mark your calendars. You'll be hearing a lot more about this. We're going to be having a temple Zoom that I'm sharing with all the Reformed congregations in the country because we're going to have Charlie Citron Walker, who was the rabbi who was held hostage in Colleyville. He agreed to speak to us about his experiences, and that's going to be a national thing that our congregation is hosting. Is That's gonna be March 22nd at 7:30 PM.
I didn't even know about that.
Okay, another voice from the back. Fran, please.
Thank you. Nancy covered most of the things about the perm. Thank you. Bag fundraiser. Just if anyone can help deliver bags to those people who don't pick theirs up by Sunday, I really appreciate a hand getting them to go out. So if you can email me and let me know. I can't tell you which bags and where they'll be going yet until we see who has it picked them up. And the other thing is a beautiful, beautiful service, which reminded me that Val and I just this week worked with the rabbi in scheduling the sisterhood service. They're the first to know, and it'll be May 19th. So not a waiting.
All right.
Thank you.
Also, Sisterhood will be having a dinner. Sisterhood will be having a dinner March 20th at the Great Wall at 6 o'clock.
There'll be an email.
Yeah.
It's good to see the temple getting into full gear again. So this is not the last you've heard of Brotherhood for the year. We have a couple of more events planned. There'll be a Sunday morning brunch, April 16th. So keep your eyes on the temple announcements for the details and location. And we've also got a special trip we're planning for May. Ben?
So, Yiddish culture once was a very, very much the lifeblood of Jewish life for generations and generations, especially in Central Europe and Eastern Europe, in the ghettos of Central Europe and in the shtetls of Eastern Europe. And the language that supported the culture was a beautiful language. And many of your grandparents and great-grandparents spoke Yiddish, came to this country and brought it with them. And the Yiddish culture flourished here for quite a while with literature and the arts, especially in music and stage. By the middle of the 20th century, it was really beginning to fade, and a man named Aaron Lansky was concerned about that. And he started to write to different people, especially elderly people, and ask them if they might have a few Yiddish books in their attics, or just something that they might be able to donate and he could collect. Well, he got an amazing, overwhelming response. Millions of people all over the world donated their books to him, and there were so many, he couldn't imagine that people had been keeping these books. And he collected them, and there were so many that he needed a place to put them and show them. And he started and founded the Yiddish Book Center right here in Massachusetts, south of the town of Amherst, Massachusetts. It's a beautiful location. It's out in the country, but it's still part of the town of Amherst. It's really near the campus of Hampshire College. And the building looks like an oversized shtetl house, but inside is a fantastic collection of books. And not only that, but there's special galleries with photographs of beautiful European synagogues, and there's a video describing what he has done, and it's a very, very interesting place. So we are sponsoring a trip to the Yiddish Book Center in Amherst on the 21st of May, which is a Sunday, and we hope that you would be interested in that and join us, and we'll probably get there around noontime or 1 o'clock. We'll have a 2 o'clock tour, and then we'll stay till about 3 or 3:30, and then we're thinking of driving up into town in Amherst, and there's a nice Italian restaurant that you're all invited to join us at, and so we'll make a real nice day of it, and hopefully it'll be good spring weather. There's even some nice outdoor situations there too, with a garden, and it's just a very nice place. So we would like to get a head count. If you're interested, we would like to know that, and we would be asking a charge of $10, base charge of $10 per person. We would also encourage maybe another $5 donation toward the Brotherhood. So somewhere between there, if you could, as you respond to this, and we'll send an email out, but if you could respond, there'll be my address, and you can send us a check as well. And but we really think it'll be a great trip, and we hope that you can join us on Sunday, May 21st at the Yiddish Book Center in Amherst. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Ben. This is going to be very exciting. Just to be clear, this is open to the entire temple community. so everybody's welcome to attend. If we get a lot of RSVPs real soon, well, then we'll try to get a second tour, because I think the tours are 20 to 25 people at a time. So if there's real interest, let us know and we'll see what we can arrange. The other activity we have on the planning deck is a trivia night.
And game night.
Game and trivia night that Sheldon is spearheading,
And Jeremy.
and Jeremy. Anything on the details yet, or
I don't know.
date?
Stay tuned.
Maybe a Havdalah service. It'll be Saturday night. I think it's April 29th. That's a Saturday. So it'll be like a game night for the kids and maybe a trivia thing in the middle of that and maybe a Havdalah service, but we have to work that out. That's the plan.
Okay. All right, so I think that wraps up the announcements. Anybody else have? Rabbi, last chance? Okay,
Come on, more announcements.
We're gonna continue the service now.
right, we got the Kiddush. No, please.
Page 122.
Have a drink.
The heaven and earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and dedicated it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work that God had done. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah.
Please rise.
Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu mitzotav v'ratzavanu b'Shabbat kodesh. Li'ava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Zikaron l'maseh bereshit ki hu yom tehila l'mekra kodesh. Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta v'yotana kidashta b'kol ha'amim. B'Shabbat kodesh B'ava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen.
Okay, great, thanks, Bob. Okay, I'd like to invite Jacob up. You're the youth in here to hold the challah for the motzi. Yep.
Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Awesome. Okay, and we'll conclude our service with the singing of Adon Olam. I would like to invite all the gentlemen up to the bema. Join us in the singing, led by our temple band. Hayden, Jacob, if you'd like to join as future Brotherhood people, you're more than welcome. Ben, you're invited. Steve, you're more than welcome if you'd like to join. Okay, the Adon Olam is on page 625. All right, take it away, Ben.
Here we go. Ready? Ready. Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'chetz kol, Azayel Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yacharei Kivlot HaKol, Livado Yimlok Torah Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yiyeh B'tivara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yitnasa, V'chefz kol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'yein Sheni, V'hamshila V'hamchira Adon Olam, V'li Reishi, V'li Tachti, Below Ha'oz and Ha'mizrach, Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chem kol, Az Lamelech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzorah V'yotzorah Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanosli, Menakosim B'yom Nikra Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chem kol, Az Lamelech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, B'yado Aki Ruchi, V'yeti Sham V'ya'ira Adon Olam, V'yin Ruchi, V'yati, Adonai li v'lo ira Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'yet Nasa, V'chem kol, Az Lamelech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'd like to invite you all to the Oneg.